Okay, this one says, if possible, factor the polynomial as a difference of squares. Well, I know 9 is a perfect square and 16 is a perfect square. I can divide the numbers I multiply together to get 9 is 3x times 3x. To get 16, it's going to be positive 4 and negative 4. Now, if you don't remember how to do this, you could have used the x method. You could have used the quadratic formula, and there's a few other ways. But just remember, difference of squares. If this is a perfect square and that's a perfect square, take the square root and then make sure one is positive and one is negative so the middle term cancels. So it's going to be answer B. Okay, number 9 says in the real number system, what number equals 25 raised to the 1/5, which we could rewrite that as square root of 25. The square root of 25 is just 5. Now, 9b, this is the one a little bit more difficult. A to the 4th, b to the 6th, and we want to get the square root of that, or 1/2 of it. Well, the reason I wasn't too freaked out is because we know when we have an exponent raised to an exponent, we can use the power rule, which is you multiply these, right? 4 times 1/2 is 2. 6 times 1/2 is 3. Now, when we take the square root, what this literally means is a times a times a times a. Well, if we put two of those together, that would be a perfect square. Those two are a perfect square. So if we want square root of a to the 4th, these two cancel, and this is what's left over. Same thing with the b. We end up getting 3 b's left over, so it is answer D. I know we hadn't done one like that with the variables, but I hope this helps. All right, on number 10. Says, what is the domain and the range for the functions shown on the graph? So remember, domain is your x values. X values go left and right. And range is the y values. Y values go up and down. So our domain, how far to the left does it go? How far to the right does it go? Well, it goes to the left forever, to the right forever. So the domain is all real numbers. For the range, the bottom value is at 4, and it doesn't go up or down anywhere. So the range, the only value for it is 4. So, domain is 4, range is 4, nope. Domain is 4, range is all real numbers, nope. Domain is all real numbers, yes. Range is 4, is answer C. Number 11. Which equation of line is shown on the graph? Now, they just gave us 2 points. You guys remember point slope form, right? Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Well, let's pick either point. You know what? Let's pick my y-intercept of 0, -2. So y minus -2 equals my slope. Now I need to get the slope. There's 2 ways we can get the slope. We can go 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3. So it's -2 over 3. That is one way. Or you could use your slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which would be, let's see, let's make this our y2. So -2. Wow, we wrote that point backwards. Should be -3, 0. Minus 0 over -3 minus 0. -2 minus nothing is -2. -3 minus nothing is -3. And then -2 divided by -3. Whoops, I wrote this one backwards. Because I wrote it just like those points had said. I apologize. So that would be a positive 3, negative divided by positive is negative. So it's still negative 2/3. So we put in that for m. And then we have x minus, and we used this one, so there's 0 right here. Distribute, negative 2/3 x minus 0 equals y plus 2. Subtract 2. Y equals negative 2/3 x minus 2. C. Alright. The reason I did that is because the very last problem is very similar. Which equation represents the graph? So let's use a point right here and get our slope. So the point is at 0, 4, which means our intercept's at positive 4. The slope, it goes down 1 over 1, 2, 3. So it's y equals negative 1/3 x plus 4, which matches up with C. So you've seen me work them both ways. This one is just asking what's equivalent to the following answer. Well, all of these are just the point slope form. So let's pick a point on there. The first point says it's at positive 1. So really that's a negative 1, right? And positive 3, so negative 3. So let's look. Let's see if there's a point at negative 1, negative 3. No, there is not. So it's definitely not A. B says the point is at, wow, I had that totally backwards. X value's over here. Negative 3, negative 1, which should have been right there. Not on the line. Number 2, negative 1/3. All of these have the correct slope, so just look at the points. Positive 3, positive 3. So 3, 3. Yes, that is a point on my line. So we'll check that one in a second. This one, negative 1, negative 3, which is the other value. We already know that's not on the line. And negative 3, negative 3. So negative 3, negative 3. That is not on my line either. The only one that worked was answer B. And when you do change this into slope intercept, you end up getting, distribute this, y minus 3 equals negative 1/3 x minus 1. Sorry. A negative times a negative is a positive. There we go. Fix that. Add 3 to both sides to cancel out that. 1 plus 3 is 4, so you get y equals negative 1/3 x plus 4. So be able to get it in point slope form, get it in slope intercept, and all the other things. Your chunk test tomorrow is going to be 10 questions. Some of them are multi-step, multi-tiered questions. So you will need to know how to factor, know how to graph, and know how to work with exponents and letters. All right? Good luck on your test tomorrow. Make sure you study tonight. The best studying is just completing the homework, okay? Good luck, guys.